Good day, all. Um, so I would like and welcome. I would like to start with this. You know, in the world today, we have a lot of things that divide us against not only those whom we may consider enemies, but even within the ranks of our own friends and family. Uh, and this bothers me. It really does. It really does. Because I think, on our journey in life, for myself, I've had to question everything. Everything I've ever been taught, everything I see on social media, everything I see, in the corporate world, the political world, the financial world. So that's kind of like the beginning of an idea for me. But for me, I personally, I've studied as much as I could get my hands on. Religion, science, math, arts, music, all of it. My own self, others, the past, possible futures. So, it is a nifty thing. Science did an experiment with infants and showed that when we are born, or when we open our eyes for the first time in this world, we perceive everything as an extension of ourselves. There are no divisions apparent to us. And we don't have really any fears. The only fear an infant has is of falling, and that's once they start to fall. We have an innate instinct, you would say, because of these forms we take on, to take care of our needs, which are, food, water, comfort. When you're an infant, we don't even think in those terms, right? Because we come into the world with a brilliantly empty mind. We are just pure consciousness. We are the awareness, one would say. And the only time an infant really gets upset is if they are physically uncomfortable. And I have a lot of experience raising nieces and nephews and brothers and sisters and things like that. So we come into the world, and the world starts pummeling us with information. We're given a name. We're told who we are, where we are, what's going on, what everything else is. We go through different educational and potentially religious or spiritual programs, and we gain those kinds of information. And not only that, we are indoctrinated or pummeled with media, politics, marketing, all kind of things. So my hope is to be a bridge between two understandings: the world of science and the world of spirituality. Any good spiritual path is there to help us regain our childlike mind, an empty mind, so that we function at one with existence, because underlying the many forms in reality, all is one. And we can debate this forever. And I'm not here to debate. I'm here to share my experience and what I've learned. So, what I think a lot of people don't understand is that as far back as humanity, religion was science. We have renamed it. We say we've invented things or patented things or come up with ideas, and that's just hubris. That's just hubris. Any idea that I have has come to me. It's nothing of myself. It's not out of my own individual intellect that these things have come to me. It's more like I receive them, like a receiver, a transmitter. But the idea that science and religion are somehow different is ludicrous. It's another division in the world. Now, science, at least what I perceive, is not necessarily interested in humanity retrieving its natural state. I'd say some are. Quantum physics is pretty cool. We're getting there, we're getting there. When you understand that the observer affects reality and how we're observing it affects reality, then something cool happens. So this process of learning all the information about the different forms in the world, right? And then getting caught up in the forms, which sets us against not only those that we disagree with, but our friends and family. So, going back to spirituality, the idea is to do the inner work, to return to a childlike mind, an empty mind. And I've seen videos where people say anybody who's doesn't have an inner dialogue is dangerous, and they'll do anything, they don't have a conscience. That's not true. In fact, the inner dialogue is what gets in the way of our true conscience, so that we can operate in the flow at one with existence. And when we have that inner dialogue going on, it would appear that it creates cognitive dissonance, not only within ourselves, but within the world around us. And the more people that can regain our natural state and operate from union with the whole, the better this world will become. But that means that I have to let go of all divisive ideologies. I have to sit in the space between all polarities. People want light, but they don't want to accept darkness. But you got to go through the darkness to get to the light. Heat and cold are not two different things. Heat and cold are two sides within the same spectrum, just like good and bad, joy and sad, right and wrong. When we live from this mindset of right and wrong and good and evil, in fact, our impact on the world, it doesn't matter if our intentions are good or bad. Our impact upon the world from living with a divided heart and mind creates more things in the world that are not good for us. This is my experience. You can go test it for yourself. You do not have to believe anything that I say. And if you think I'm trying to convince you to believe anything I say, well, forgive me, because I'm not. This is my experience. And the reason, we look at the world and say, there's all this terrible stuff. Well, the terrible stuff is because all of the stuff that we're taught gets trapped in our mind. We gain this inner dialogue, which creates a prison. It creates an illusion of separation, which in modern times we call the ego. In ancient times we call we'll say the individualized soul, because we're all one with the spirit or the energy of the universe, however you want to call it, right? The Tao. There's a lot of words for it. It doesn't matter. We're all one with that. And once we do the inner work, and it takes a lot of pain and suffering and struggle to do that, but when we focus on it and get it done, we find peace. And once we have peace, then and only then can we do good things. I won't say make good choices, because you're not in an inner dialogue. You know what's right when you're not thinking about it. Right? At least that's my experience. I'm going to end right here. This is the end of this video. We will continue this video here in the next few minutes. Thank you. Have a good day. All.